Hi guys, it's me Sharmise, aka Professor Mo, and I am back with another lesson in our micro series for public speaking. Today is lesson 29, and we are essentially going to kind of piggyback off of my previous lesson, which was 5 things you should be doing the night before your speech. So for this lesson, I want to talk about 3 things that you should be doing immediately after your speech or presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. The 3 things that I want you to do after every single speech are: 1, look or ask for feedback; 2, reflect on what landed and what did not; and 3, implement said changes or modifications for future speaking engagements. Okay, so the first thing that I mentioned was look for or ask for feedback. Look for or ask for feedback. In a lot of situations, you may have some type of sheet or document with feedback on it, but in instances where you don't necessarily get feedback from the people that were in the audience, I want to encourage you to ask for feedback from someone that you trust or value their opinion, and ask them just their honest opinion on how your presentation went, how your speech landed, how the information was received, and any valuable, impactful, constructive criticism that they can provide. I want you to take all that in. So ask someone for feedback. Ask a colleague, ask a, fellow student, ask your teacher, ask somebody, how the information came across, just to see what they want to share. The next thing that I want you to do is reflect. When I do any of my classes, I ask students to do a self-reflection. A self-reflection talks about all the things that they learned from the speeches they presented. What was the 3 points of information? Did that information land? Do they feel like they were prepared for the speech? Looking back, would there be anything that they would do differently or better? So in reflecting on your speech, I really want you to consider what you think landed. What are some of the things you think went well, and what are some of the things that you feel like you could have done better or differently for your speech moving forward? If your jokes did not land, if your introduction wasn't as clear, if your main points of information did not flow, if your visual aid fell short, if you feel like you might have had a lot of verbal pauses or nonverbal pauses, if you feel like you should have been moving around, were you hugging the podium? Really sit and reflect on how you think you did with your execution of your speech. After getting feedback from someone and reflecting on everything, I want you to take all that and figure out ways that you can improve in the future. Sometimes there are just little things that you can do to improve upon moving forward. I know one thing that a lot of people wish that they could do better is time management. So that is one thing that you can reflect on. Did you meet the time requirement? Did you go over the time requirement? How can you be more prepared in the future? Another thing to think about is whether the information landed the way that you intended it to. Could you have better examples? Could you include more oral citations? Could you have a more vivid visual aid? Was the language that you used good enough to paint a picture for the information that you are sharing? Just all these fine little details that you can use, implement, and build upon to just make you the speaker that you desire to be. Plain and simple. So if you are looking to have a better journey as a public speaker, if you are looking to improve on your speaking, it all comes with experience. So the more speaking engagements you do, the more opportunities you take to speak, that builds the experience. And then every experience that you have, if you reflect upon it, make your notes, make your modifications, you will essentially become the speaker that you desire to be. It just takes time and practice, and fine-tuning your style, but also being receptive to constructive criticism and feedback, and taking an honest look at how you think that you did or how you know that you did. I think I'm going to go over on time. But one of the things that I think is so interesting is some people who want to be a really good public speaker are not honest with how their execution was. So I think if you are super honest with yourself and really put in the effort and the notes, I think that you will grow. So be receptive to feedback, be super honest with yourself, and just make it happen. So, just a quick summary. Today we talked about 3 things that you should be doing immediately after any speech or speaking engagement. The 3 things that I want you to do are look for and or ask for feedback, self-reflect, make those modifications for the next speaking engagement. I'll see you guys next time.